Thanks for tuning in to the Mr. Show. I redpillrixter. We're going to get into it. The thing called the difference between being loyal and being faithful. Follow me on Instagram and follow me right here on the Mr. Show. So, all right, check this out. No more talking.
Men being able to step out of their relationship because he is the sole provider.
Also, should men be able to step out of their relationship because they're the sole provider? And that's loyalty versus what? Unfaithful.
Step out of their relationship because he is the sole provider, or whatever the case may be. Historically, that was the norm, right? And I want to tie that into what's happening right now in terms of doubling back, right? Some people double back after the infidelity had.
Doubling back, going back to the direction that you want has came. So I guess people going back to their ex and stuff like that, doubling back. All right, let's go.
Whatever the case may be, historically, that was the norm, right? And I want to tie that into what's happening right now in terms of doubling back, right? Some people double back after the infidelity has happened in the original relationship. You know why? Because it takes an actual, conscious, aware person to understand that being unfaithful does not mean you're being disloyal. If I'm still doing everything that I was doing for you, okay, if I come home and I make you happy, if I take care of home, I take care of kids, I do everything, I'm the workhorse, but you caught me stepping outside, that doesn't mean I was disloyal. That means I was unfaithful.
Man.
I agree.
I still never stopped doing the things that I promised to provide for us, and I still never stopped, making you unhappy.
Okay, hold on.
Granted, if you are doing, stepping out because there is an unhappiness, that's way different.
I'm gonna just go on a tangent a little bit. Sorry.
I love it.
But
thought-provoking.
Now, when you're with a woman, right? When you're with a woman that you love, obviously she's bringing a lot of things to the table that you obviously need and desire. So if she steps out on you, you once said that you won't take that woman back. Why
That's
is
not what
there a
I've ever
difference?
said. Actually, in fact,
Hold on. Before Mr. Righteous takes over and says what he wants to say, the majority of men hurt more when a woman steps out than a woman would hurt when a man steps out. The majority of men is not taking you back, yo. It doesn't matter even if they stepped out on themselves. If you step out on a man, most likely, he's not going to take you back. Doesn't matter what advice anyone else is giving you. This is the advice from the boss of all boss who called himself a boss. This is the advice from redpillrixter. So you don't have to take my advice, but that's my experience. As a woman stepping out, she's already gone emotionally and mentally. A man stepping out is just a good night of fun. That got continued. Let's go.
Steps out on you, you once said that you won't take that woman back. Why
that's
is
not what
there a
I've ever
difference?
said. Actually, in fact, I love correcting people. In fact, the way I actually got my job at 8, the way I got my job at 8 at the table was saying that if I was doing it, especially if I was doing it as well, I got to charge it to the game. And I realized that life, first of all, I stepped out in other relationships. So if I'm in a good relationship, if you're in a good relationship with a woman and she steps out on you and she was still doing everything that she needed to do, granted, it depends on how she steps out. If she built the relationship, that's one thing. We're talking about like maybe a girl's trip, she fuck around and fuck Drake. I'm gonna be mad.
The force will be with you. Always.
I think I do.
Stop.
He needs some milk.
That brother needs some milk because the advice that I'm giving to any man, the advice I'm giving, she step out on you, bro, it's a wrap. It's a wrap.
Remember you saying, okay.
I'm gonna be like, yo, I gotta charge it to the game. You know what I'm saying? That's just what happens.
bitch.
You know what I'm saying? But if you go out and you go get a Pico and not a Rico, then we have an issue. Like, you're not gonna go below this. Like,
Yo, but listen, she went out there and she was doing all these things. She checked out a long time emotionally if she's actually gonna let the dude hit it. You get what I'm saying? So like, I don't think that's some good advice that you gave, bro. I don't think you should allow a woman to even think that a man's gonna stay if she steps out. She should know it's immediately over.
we have an issue. Like, you're not gonna go below this. Like, I know you're just desperate.
Okay.
You know, but that was just to clarify.
Interesting.
But back to your point though.
about the loyalty, disloyalty, unfaithfulness. So that is so key. When I work with my clients, I ask them, what do you want? Like the notebook, like, what do you want?
Yeah.
And many times people use this term of, I want someone who's loyal. And that's not the word that they actually, I'm like, let's Google it. Like, are we sure that the words that you are using and the attributes that you're looking for is actually descriptive of what you want? And that's exactly it. Like, I want someone who's faithful. Okay, so then that's a different animal. So I agree with you 100% in that regard. Back to you.
Of course she's going to agree. It's a woman.
He needs some milk.
That brother needs some milk, bro. Seeing if a woman steps out, young men, if a woman steps out on you even once, seeing, move on.
Your comment, though, of how many times are we going to accept the unfaithfulness? Like, what are the circumstances? Like you said, the Drake versus the Pico. Like, what are the circumstances that are, I didn't want to use that word, but.
Yo, I'm from Toronto. Shout out to Drake. Right? Shout out to Drake, yeah.
It
Right?
is what it is,
Like,
yeah.
acceptable. And then also in your case,
Cheating acceptable. Don't even bring that up. It's never acceptable. All right, let's go.
like, are we sure that the words that you are using and the attributes that you're looking for is actually descriptive of what you want? And that's exactly it. Like, I want someone who's faithful. Okay, so then that's a different animal. So I agree with you 100% in that regard. Back to your comment, though, of how many times are we going to accept the unfaithfulness? Like, what are the circumstances? Like you said, the Drake versus the Pico. Like, what are the circumstances that are, I didn't want to use that word, but
It is
right?
what it is,
Like,
yeah.
acceptable. And then also in your case, you said charge it to the game if you were doing dirt, if you weren't doing the dirt.
No, I'm talking about even previously.
Yeah, in the past.
I've already did my. Listen, karma is coming. I don't know how she's coming, but if it comes, like, well, I guess this is what I deserve, right? But you see the foot tap.
I do think that disloyalty and unfaithfulness can go hand in hand, though,
Coexist, yeah.
because you're unfaithful but still be loyal to me.
Nobody in their right mind would believe that.
Like, I understand what Rico was saying, like he's still doing all of these things, but what are you telling this side? Like, what are you telling this girl that you're cheating? Are you saying like my wife at home is a piece of shit? Oh, she's so annoying, blah blah blah. You're disloyal.
Yes.
But if you be like, I'm fucking you, but I love my wife. Like, I'm not leaving her. This is not like we're not gonna be in a relationship. Like, I love her. I'm going back.
Pause it right there. Exactly. Stop your nice girl. So, rude boy, let me ask you a question. If your woman said exactly what she said, she just did it, it was no big deal, and you're just going to take her back like that? I don't know what kind of advice they giving on this show right here, but I'm not happy. Do not give that advice. If someone steps out on you, step on. Move on.
How you talk
That's
about
me right there.
How you talk about me behind my back is you being loyal to me.
I like your pussycat friend.
So I feel like that goes.
And they love it. They love it. Women love that. Now, if we about to mess around, but I'm telling you right now, I love my girl. Do not. Some women would be like, wow.
Don't even talk
I
about
want that.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
I want that too.
Yeah,
like,
I'm here
no
with you
matter
right
what.
now, but don't be talking shit, girl.
No, yeah. What? I will fight you. Like,
Oh,
yo,
yeah,
we
like,
can fuck.
we
You
can
better
fight
not talk
right
shit about
now.
my wife. Like, but women love that because at the end of the day, this is what I believe. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I could be in my own space.
And that's what we have to marry, God. That's what we have. That's what, like, somebody that's going to tell me, like, I'm going to cheat on you, but.
All right, I'm with her. I'm with her with this one. That's what you're trying to tell us that we have to accept is like, yeah, I'm going to step out on you once, but loyalty versus, no. I advise anyone, spring or summer, I advise anybody, if someone steps out on you, step on, move on.
Well, I had your back.
No,
Like,
I'm not saying this is what we should want, but I'm just trying to
It's the
let
reality.
them know.
I'm going to cheat on you, but well, I had your back.
No,
Like,
I'm not saying this is what we should want, but I'm just trying to
It's the
let
reality.
them know how
I'd rather be alone.
loyalty.
You know how many-
and
I would
faithfulness-
rather be
Right.
alone.
You wouldn't rather be alone. You'd rather be lied to.
Let's go.
See, that's the thing. There's so much infidelity. And, for a long time, even here at 80 at the table, I fought to not say normalize infidelity, normalizing the act of cheating. But guess what? It is more normal than it is unnormal. And we need to start to embrace it. And there's some people who need to actually be like, yo, you know what? Cheating on me.
The man said that we should normalize cheating and we need to learn to embrace it. Yeah,
He needs some milk.
that's a big no.
Normalizing the act of cheating. But guess what? It is more normal than it is unnormal. And we need to start to embrace it. And there's some people who need to actually be like, yo, you know what? Cheating on me isn't a full deal breaker, depending on how many times it happens.
Don't let me find out.
O'clock in the morning, where the fuck you been at? Get your shit. I smell the cannabis. You a lying ass motherfucker. I am flabbergasted. This bitch a wild.
Okay,
So
fine.
you said that what?
I am married, right? I am legally married to my husband. And if he cheated on me one time, and again, depending on the circumstances, that I might not necessarily divorce him. And the thing is that most women, and I would even say people, would say the same thing, but they don't want to say it aloud because it's awkward or it's embarrassing. A lot of folks, I'm not doing 50-50 with a man because then that means we're...
Okay, stop before we go into that 50-50 part. So again, this is definitely, I think, something that a woman would more be acceptable of is a man stepping out than it would be for a man accepting a woman to step out. I mean, it happens in every case. There's circumstances, but come on, what are you? I'll tell any young man that's coming up in the game that there's a lot of women out there, and if a woman steps out on you, I'm telling you straight, move on. I know women should have a little bit more resilience, especially even the men, especially when it comes to having family involved. It's going to break up families and stuff, but you should have thought about that before you started cheating. So I'm down for, I advocate for if you cheat, leave. No second chance, one chance. I know that's easier for a woman to handle, and I think it's easier for a woman to handle than it is for a man to handle. Again, my opinion, my show. Move on.
And the thing is that most women, and I would even say people, would say the same thing, but they don't want to say it aloud because it's awkward or it's embarrassing. A lot of folks, I'm not doing 50-50 with a man because then that means we're roommates. And most of those bitches is doing 50-50. They just don't want to say it aloud because the expectation is that as a woman, these are the standards you should have. And people are lying, and they're lying because of social media. They're lying because of pressures. They're lying because of society. 9 times out of 10, folks are forgiving their wives, even though men will not admit it. And they are forgiving their husbands, even though they don't want to admit it. They are.
Is it that relationships get like boring maybe, or there's not enough sex in the relationship? Like, what is it that makes people decide, all right, like, because in that case, why even be in?
Men want variety. Men want variety. Men usually want variety
in a relationship if that part is just not fulfilling?
I think that there's something that's lacking in the relationship, and I would even venture out to say that it's not even necessarily the quality of sex or the quantity of sex with their actual partner. It's not even that. I think sometimes people don't feel seen. They don't feel appreciated.
That's why you feel my blood clot.
It's the attention that this new person offers. A lot of times, especially if you speak to women, they don't even intend on the act. They don't even intend, they don't even care about actually having with this outside person. It's the phone calls, it's the text messages, it's the compliments, it's the gifts, it's the dates that are more attractive. And then
that's when they check out. That's the checking out times.
By default, eventually, well, I might as well have that's the direction we're going in.
Take our back.
Expensive. Give it back.
I already have one.
But it's not even about this act many times.
So there's been possible times that you considered doubling back to an ex. What was the one thing that was pulling you back personally into that old relationship?
Just the vibe.
Loneliness.
Probably a bag of emotions and feelings.
Yes.
Damn.
Just the vibe.
Just the vibe. It's just the vibe. A bag of emotions, a bag of feelings. Let me take it to this part right here, yo. This is amazing. That was funny. Big up Snaky's editing.
Too expensive. Give it back.
I already have one.
But it's not even about this act many times.
So there's been possible times that you considered doubling back to an ex. What was the one thing that was pulling you back personally into that old relationship?
Just the vibe.
Loneliness.
Damn.
Just the vibe.
I'm just.
No, the loneliness.
It was. My heart wasn't aching to go back.
I don't get loneliness.
I didn't miss him that bad, but I was just like, all right, I'm real bored. He's not even texting me no more. Like, all right, I'm gonna text him. Let's see what's up.
A lot of
Let me
times
see if he
our
missed me.
partners be out.
Stop the cap.
She lying. She lying. She lying. She's capping, yo. Capping.
Our best friends. Like, we talk every single day, multiple times a day. Like,
I didn't
Let's get
Just the vibe.
I'm just.
Oh, the loneliness.
It was, my heart wasn't aching to go back.
I don't get lonely.
Like I didn't like miss him that bad, but I was just like, all right, I'm real bored. But he not even texting me no more. Like, all right, I'm gonna text him. Let's see what's up.
A lot of
Let me see
times
if he
our
missed me.
partners be our best friends. Like we talk every single day, multiple times a day. Like you miss your best friend. It's like you miss relationship shit, not necessarily that person. Like anyone could have been in that slot. But now
Okay, hold on.
Yeah. Hold on with that.
But now I don't have nobody who's going to talk to me while I drive home. I don't have anybody to complain about my job to. Like,
Fucking shut up.
like just missing that engagement.
Everybody needs a friend. I think more that's what it is. Everybody needs a friend.
It's the Mr. Show. Thanks for tuning in. I Red Pill Rickster. I tell you right now, these girls are capping, yeah. That girl was capping. I thought dude gave a little bit of bad advice. If somebody is cheating on you, get rid of them immediately. Thanks for tuning in. It's the Mr. Show. I Red Pill Rickster.